Why the feel-good movie Air with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon almost didn't happen. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon rejoin in the upcoming film Air, which has Michael Jordan's blessing and is directed by Affleck. Affleck and Damon, who met when Damon was 10 and Affleck was 8, have been close friends for a long time. Both performers have acknowledged in past interviews that they were drawn to one another since they shared a love of acting from a young age. Affleck made light of the fact that he has been casting Damon since high school during a Q&A session following an Air showing in New York. According to IndieWire, he claimed, "I've carried him before." Damon chuckled and said, "It appears to be the first time he has given me instructions." He said, "Man, I think you should perform it like this during one of our high school shows." He continued, "He's been leading me for like 40 or something years." The pair has previously collaborated, with their breakthrough performance coming in Good Will Hunting. While living together, Damon, then 27, and Affleck, then 25, co-wrote the movie. According to a previous statement made by Affleck to Forbes magazine, "We hired this home on the beach in Venice and 800 people came and stayed with us and got drunk. We then ran out of money and had to find housing. Everything was thrilling," said him. "We therefore resided in Glendale, Eagle Rock, Hollywood, West Hollywood, Venice, by the Hollywood Bowl, and other locations. Depending on who had the money, we might have been kicked out of some areas or forced to upgrade or downgrade." Along with living together in the same flat, Affleck and Damon also had a joint bank account. The two discussed their all-for-one and one-for-all philosophy on an edition of the Bill Simmons podcast. Affleck remarked, "We promise to support one another and help one another out. You're not going to be alone," it said. "Let's go out there and complete this together. I won't be doing it alone." As long as one of us had money, Damon said, "we knew the power wouldn't be cut off." Us Weekly claims that before they had any recognition for their names, Affleck and Damon utilized the opening of Good Will Hunting to find a new residence. "I recall reading in Daily Variety that we would receive $600,000 for it. Due to our lack of credit, we used a copy of the Daily Variety to secure the $3,000 divided by monthly rental of this residence," the actor remarked. "I don't have credit, but this is who we are," I said. And the landlord responded, "Okay, fine, all right." After the success of Good Will Hunting, Affleck reportedly said that he avoided collaborating with Damon since doing so constantly would be limited. Affleck said to The Hollywood Reporter, "We wished we'd maintained working together more throughout the years. That was one of the things we reflected on when we did The Last Duel that drove us to want to start this firm together. We succumbed to the notion that if you don't separate your careers and pursue your own interests, people will constantly link you with one another. That will be restrictive. We received that guidance," he said. In an interview with the publication, Affleck discussed the significance of his nearly 40-year friendship with Damon. "I believe the reason it works is because I love and trust him and am confident in his moral character. In our industry, failure is difficult, and success may be perplexing and cause you to lose your bearings. It was incredibly significant to have that friendship serve as a touchstone over the years." The new production firm founded by Affleck and Damon, Artists Equity, produced Air. Damon stated that without Oscar winner Viola Davis, the movie would not have been made during a press conference for it last week. "If we can't get Viola Davis, we won't be able to make the movie," Damon added. It has always been Affleck's ambition to direct her in a movie. Not only did the actor's ambition of directing Davis come true, but he also had the opportunity to direct Damon. Filmmaking is a communal art form, not a solitary one. You need excellent partners because it depends on others. It all comes down to giving your actors the tools they need to perform as well as they can when it comes to casting. Also, when working with actors of this caliber, the process is more about just removing obstacles, Affleck added while grinning. But it really helps when someone like Viola Davis shows up and instantly elevates your film by a factor of 100. Affleck added, and that's also true of Matt. He is incredibly talented, and it was a pleasure to learn even more about him as an actor while directing him for the first time. I consider it a great privilege to work beside my oldest buddy in the same field. We are thus doubly fortunate. During the press conference, Damon stated that working with Affleck in a unique way was equally fulfilling for him. "Naturally, we've written and produced together throughout the years, but Damon remarked that working with him as a director was an absolute joy and very fulfilling creatively. We often agree on what works and doesn't work in a scene, which is why our interactions were so natural. And with this cast, I got to work every day with another one of my heavyweight acting heroes. It simply doesn't get any better than that. From beginning to end, it was the most fun I've ever had watching a movie." In the movie, which tells the tale of how Nike signed a young Jordan to a history-changing shoe deal that would impact the company and pop culture forever, Davis plays Michael Jordan's mother, Dolores Jordan. Despite the fact that Affleck stated that working with Davis has been a lifelong career desire, Damon and other casting directors also contributed to the choice. He didn't feel that way about working with them, Damon later jokingly said. The filmmaker joked that he had been told by media managers to use phrases like walking on air while describing the experience of working with everyone. Instead of seeing a disproportionate amount of money going to actors and directors, Damon and Affolk hope to create a more egalitarian experience for the team behind movies, including cinematographers, costume designers, and more. In the end, the actors and crew's passion for the tale they are telling is evident on film.